debates and decisions that are shaping our continent now in Europeans.
Bucharest, Romania, 17 years after the fall of communism. A country where for a long time personal wealth was either denied to individuals or associated with outlaws. In a few months, Romania will become a member of the European Union. Romanian entrepreneurs are trying to project themselves into a fast-changing future. Smiley's voice isn't on top form, but his band is in the hands of Mozart, alias Marius Moga. At 24, he writes for and produces 70% of Romanian pop stars.
Officially, I'm a rich man, and unofficially, I'm on the way to it. I'm towards rich. I don't know if richness was my goal, but I'm driven by music, and then, you know, along with glory and fame, money comes along.
The road to glory came by accident, even though he's been making music since he was 7. He arrived in Bucharest from his home province at 18, his head full of songs. When his first album was a hit, the press began to take interest. Today, half the songs in the Romanian charts were penned by him. His new target, the common market. I've packaged these works to present them to Europe, he says, but I wouldn't want people to say, ah, that's great, it's from Romania, we already know ozone. I don't want people to ask, where's that from, Germany, Romania? I simply want music to sell only because it's okay. Blending into European culture, an ideal that makes Marius Moga the ideal EU citizen. For his latest hit, Germany and the Benelux countries will be the starting points for what he hopes will be his first commercial conquest of Europe. A few kilometers from Bucharest, the commercial conquest of Europe is no longer perceived as a pushover. At the time communism fell, 60 farms were operating around the capital. We're in one of only 2 to have survived what's known as the Big Demolition. Here they produce milk to European standards, but that doesn't reassure the Director General over the future of his farm. The alphabet begins with A, and with agriculture, he says, without food, quite simply, we can't live. Only what seems obvious to some isn't at all so to others. Thousands of Romanian farms were demolished or plundered during 16 years of transition and badly carried out reforms. Romanian livestock was cut in half. For this farmer, an economics graduate and doctor in animal production science, there's simply no logic to that. But what saddens him most is the discredit from which his profession continues to suffer. You know, a long time ago in Romania, he says, whoever said pig breeder or cow breeder meant the lowest of the low. Unfortunately, this idea persists that worthless people work in farming, even if it's terribly wrong. The picture is so inaccurate that it prevents Romania from exploiting its enormous farming potential. The country's entry into the European Union is far from seen as a solution. The large majority of peasants know neither what the EU is nor how they're going to work after they join.
Trăiești într-un sat global. Cuvântul intern e numai o prescurtare pentru internațional. Urmă și legăturile dintre ele.
Welcome to the world of the Money Channel, the latest creation of Romanian television and radio, a station that sets out to change the mentality and behavior of Romanians. Here in the studios of the first 24-hour business channel, there's little place for uncertainty. Money and the market economy are the new aces of the new Romania. For the young journalists of the English-named channel, the Far West years that saw the painful birth of Romanian capitalism are in the past. But for the editor, traces and stereotypes remain that must be wiped away. For 16 years, the word business had a negative connotation among Romanian public opinion, he says, an inaccurate interpretation often linked to breaking the law. Here in the Money Channel newsroom, they're looking for signs that things are becoming normal. They dare to say that making a profit isn't shameful and that being rich isn't the same as dishonest. They highlight success stories and entrepreneurs who've dared to bet with clean money. Many of the riches are identified with many of those who were formerly in power, says Mr. Apostol. But we want to show that alongside them, every day people are appearing who are creating wealth for themselves, they're creating wealth for the country, and they've nothing to do with the communist past of pre-1989. In the computing group GCAD, work and fun go side by side. Its chairman, Radu Georgescu, congratulates himself for having preferred the Romanian dream to the American one 13 years ago. At the time, Microsoft bought him an original product, antivirus software. Bill Gates also offered him a job and a financial package, but the young 25-year-old boss said no and continued to build his own company. He's among those who are expecting the world's view of his country to be different after 2007. Joining the EU can bring, above all, a brand image, he says, recognition that this country is not at the end of the world, nor at the margins of Europe, but well and truly here, where we are in fact, namely in Europe. For a long time they might have emigrated abroad, but now young Romanian computer specialists are increasingly staying in their native land, where they're paid virtually Western salaries, just as Western products are being replaced by original software. I'd like to see Romanians sit up, he says, and have more backbone. I'd like them to be aware of their worth and their problems, to find their true place. And I strongly believe that our place is a little higher than that where we find ourselves today.
Ja,